What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Shout out to everybody that's catching this on the live, and shout out to everybody that's catching this on the replay. Whether you're catching it on the live or you're catching it on the replay, smash the like button. Smash it. Smash the like button. We are going to check out part 2 of the Trump and Hannity town hall. What's up? What's up? What is up? As soon as it pops up, as soon as it's good to go, we're going to jump into it, and then we'll cut during commercial breaks. What's up, everybody? What is up? What is up? Yeah. So part 1 yesterday, I get why they did it for monetization purposes. They broke it up into 2 points, or to two segments. So, you know, hopefully today is going to be pretty. I was actually quite disappointed yesterday because I thought that they were going to do questions yesterday, but they didn't do questions. So I guess they're breaking it up into today. What's up? What's up? Shout out to everybody watching. Really appreciate you guys. Let me get my banners rocking here. Boom. Here we go. So this is going to be part 2. Yesterday, what's up? What's up, guys? Yesterday, there was this really funny moment with Sean Hannity. I wanted to share it with you guys really quick. He gets up and he's like, he cuts off Donald Trump. He's like, your 16 minutes are up. I want to share it with you guys. I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday, but he gets up and he cuts off Donald Trump. Here's the clip.
But there's no way I'm going to vote for her. No, you have to have fracking. You know, you're the biggest in the country for this. You have 2 of the biggest sites in the world. It's a massive business for Pennsylvania, and you can't take a chance. She will not allow fracking. She's not going to, and she's got a lot of other problems too. But for your particular, for the Commonwealth, you have no choice
if I may,
but to allow it.
16 minutes and 30 seconds are up. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
The president has spoken for a total of 16 minutes and 30 seconds.
I'll say something else.
Real quick, because we got a break.
If you watch that interview, she had notes. That means she knew the questions, and she had notes. She kept looking down, up. Nobody wants to cover it. I know all about notes. I mean, you know, it's all right if people know that, but she wasn't supposed to have notes. So she's asked a question. She looks down. She had notes. That means she knew that she knew what was happening.
Did her campaign, when they said that they wanted to change the rules that they had agreed to, did they ask for notes? Did they ask for the?
They wanted notes.
They wanted to be seated, and they wanted your mic hot.
And they wanted a desk.
Can you guys? Sean Hannity, oh, your 16 minutes is up. Your 16 minutes is up. You can't talk anymore. It's funny because Kamala Harris, you know, she hasn't had an interview longer than it was an 18-minute interview on CNN, and she talked for 16 minutes. Oh, crap. Dragons. The vehicle got broken into. Oh, crap. Man, that sucks. I saw some footage of Target, because it said you're there at Target. I saw some footage at Target. Yeah, be safe for sure, 100%. I saw some footage at Target, and they were ransacking Target. They were ransacking it. They have this rule out here in Vegas where if it's under, same thing with California, if it's under like $1,000, they can get away with it. I've seen at some pretty prominent at a pretty prominent mall out here, they went into the iPhone store and just like took everything. They took everything. It's crazy. It's bananas. Did you guys see the stuff with Hunter Biden today? Oh my gosh, man. I wonder if Papa Biden's gonna give him a pardon. I don't know. Let me put this on the screen, make sure that we're okay. We're still good. Cool. Yeah. I'm just catching up on some of these comments. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are catching this on the replay, smash the like button and share it. Share it out. Yeah. And then that situation with the Aurora, Colorado situation, some of the individuals in office in the Aurora situation, they're denying that the tres I was gonna say tres leches, but it's not tres leches. The TDA gang invaded this apartment complex. They're like totally not even saying that that's the situation. But I think that building is it's in poor shape. It's in poor shape. It is in poor shape. I feel bad for the residents there. I feel bad for the residents there. Yeah, you think they're going to give Hunter? You think they're going to give him a pardon? We'll see. We will see. I'm going to pop it. So during on this stream, on the commercial break, I'll mute it. We'll kind of recap some of the stuff, and then you guys can see it right here in the corner as it's going to play live. So, and then when they go live, I'll pop it on full screen so everybody can see it. Yeah. And the man, the polls are swinging. The polls are swinging. Even biased media is kind of I'm feeling that they're a little bit, they're like, I think they're tired of the BS. I think they're tired of the crap, trying to cover up for Kamala. It was interesting. A couple days ago, I had posted a video about all these media outlets saying that, oh, it's okay for her to run from outlets. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, here she is right here in the corner of your screen. She's totally avoiding media right there. But meanwhile, Donald Trump and the team have done like 37 plus interviews. And Kamala's done one staged interview. It's freaking ridiculous. And policies are still not on her page. It is crazy. It is bananas. I can't believe this. And the media is saying that it's okay. That's the type of campaign that she should run. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Jax, you like, why? I don't know the rules on this. Like, is she able to use Air Force 2 to campaign? I'm not 100% sure. It almost seems like that shouldn't be a thing. Yeah, and that interview was bad on CNN. That interview was garbage, man. And it was funny. I don't know if you guys saw some of the stuff with Joe Biden today. He was mumbling his way through. He was mumbling his way through that speech, and then he went off teleprompter a little bit. And then they blast up the music so he can't take any questions as he exits stage left. Yeah, you know what was interesting is this: the town hall was already reserved, and they were supposed to do a debate yesterday, and Kamala Harris didn't agree to it, and she's only agreed to one debate so far, and it's crazy. I think, she was trying to change the rules, trying to sit down, trying to stand up. She was trying to sit down, have notes, and have hot mics so she can have her quote unquote like boss babe moment or whatever. A little ridiculous, but they had already agreed to particular rules, and they're abiding by those rules from when Biden agreed to that debate. It's funny because she's like, say it to my face. And she don't want to show up to a debate. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember when things were a lot more professional and respectful. 100%. It is a hot mess. It is a hot mess right now. We're finishing up Jesse Waters on Fox, and then as soon as they jump on Hannity, I'll oh, here we go.
Welcome to Hannity. And tonight, early voting in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania gets underway in only 12 days. Now, the first mail-in ballots will be sent out to voters this Friday. That would
Let me know if you guys can hear.
North Carolina, and the election is a mere 60 days away. But Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, they have conducted only one short interview. Combined, they both literally run from every question, even though shouted by friendly reporters. They have held 0 press conferences, no town halls, gaggles, none of it. In the same time frame, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance have participated in well over 40 interviews in town halls and press conferences, including last night in Harrisburg, PA, where the former president took questions for more than an hour. In fact, well, we couldn't fit it all in just one show. I did have one more question for the president. You'll see the answer to this in a moment. And that was about whether or not the president would, in fact, how would he debate Kamala Harris? Is he ready for what she's about to throw at him, which I think is pretty easy to predict. But let's first go to audience questions from our exclusive town hall.
We're going to jump in. I'm going to go full screen for you guys.
Thank you for staying to take questions from the audience. You know, I always plan out, I do all this research to ask you questions and you just go. But we came here also to hear from the people of Harrisburg. Before we get to the people, I want to again introduce, we introduced him last night on the show. Dave McCormick is the Republican Senate candidate from Pennsylvania. Senator, great to have you. I'll give you a chance to say a couple of words.
Yes, thank you. Well, thank you, Sean, and thank you for Mr. President for being here in the Keystone State. And the Keystone State is going to decide the future of the country, put you back in the White House and the majority in the Senate. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
And, you know, Mr. President, it's a scary time in the world. Our adversaries around the world, Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, are testing us. They're challenging us. We've lost deterrence. They think America's weak. They think America's on retreat.
Right.
And my question to you is, on day one, when you're back in the White House, how do we restore deterrence? How do we bring strength and capability back to our military? And how do we make sure that everybody in the world knows that America is back?
So thank you, David, and good luck with the race. It's really important that you win. I hope you're going to vote. He's a great gentleman and he's a great warrior. The first thing we have to do, we have to strengthen our country from within. And we have a lot of bad people from within, but we have to straighten it. We have to, number one, have a border like we had it 4 years ago, which was strong, where the wrong people didn't get in. We have to have that. The other thing, we want to become, again, energy independent. We were energy independent 4 years ago. And what we really want is energy dominance. And then, as you know, I rebuilt the entire military, and we had it like nobody has ever had it before. And then this guy gave away $85 billion worth of equipment to Afghanistan in the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. But we have a lot more than that. We rebuilt the military. We want to be strong, but we want to do it peace through strength. That's what we want. Peace through strength. We shouldn't have to use our military. We're going to have the greatest military in the world. Thank you, David.
All right, ma'am, hi, what's your name?
My name is Deborah Williams.
Hi, Deborah, how are you?
I'm good now.
Hi, Deborah.
Oh, because of me or because of the president? I'm just guessing. No, I'm kidding.
I plead the fifth.
Good answer.
Mr. President, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your time with us today.
Thank you, Deborah.
What could you share that you've learned during the first time being in the Oval Office for those who are hesitant to vote for you now?
So we need a strong president. And, you know, I actually think we had a very stable administration, but we were hit with this weaponization. We were hit to weaponize. They've never done this before. The weaponization, all of the different Russia hoax. all of the different hoaxes, and we won every single one of them. The most important thing, and I found it, and you could say this is true in business also, we have to get the right people. When I first went there, 2016, I had a lot of good people, I had a lot of good advice, but I put people in that in some cases were not what I really wanted, because I didn't know much about Washington. I was there 17 times in my whole life, and I wasn't in D.C. very much, but I got to know them, and I got to know them the hard way. And I know the good ones, the bad ones, the weak ones, the smart ones, the dumb ones. I know them all now. And the key, and we had great ones. I mean, economic development, we did so well. The military, we did fantastically well. We knocked out ISIS, 100% of the ISIS caliphate. We have some great people in the military, not the ones that you see on television, but great people. But a big key to running it is get the right people. You put the right person and the right group of people at the heads of these massive agencies, you're going to have tremendous success. And I know now the people, and I know them better than anybody would know them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Trevor. Ma'am, hi. Ma'am, what's your name?
Sue Helm.
Hey,
And I'd
Sue.
like to welcome you to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
We love you both. So
That's nice.
wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm a small business owner. I'm the owner of Century 21 at the Helm Real Estate.
Good.
The 4 years of your presidency, Mr. Trump, were the best economically I have experienced in the 35 years I own this business. And my question is, what are your plans and policies to restore the economy so small business owners can thrive and make America great once again?
Good.
Thank you.
Good. You know, we had a woman who was very spectacular, Linda McMahon, and she ran the Small Business Administration, did a phenomenal job. And that's a very important group for what we're talking about with small business. But to put it a little simpler, we're going to have low interest rates. We're going to have low taxes. We're going to give you tremendous incentive to grow and to build your business. And, you know, a lot of people have said that. They said, one person who didn't support me, he said, I must admit, I had the most successful 4 years of my life, but I'm going to vote for some. I said, and now that person came back to me. I don't want that person. I don't want that person. You know, they say you should take everybody, but that's not the way I'm built. It's one of those little problems. This person, no, this was in the Republican primary, said, I had the best 4 years I've ever had under Trump, but I'm going to support this one. I said, that's the end of that, you know, when they came back. But we're going to lower interest rates. We're going to have low taxes. We're going to have tremendous incentives for small business. You know, small business is much bigger than big business in this country when you add it all up. And we're going to take care of small business in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, what's your name?
Travis Finkenbinder. I'm from Palmyra, Pennsylvania.
Hi.
Like to welcome you both here, and it's an honor to stand before you.
Thank you, Trey.
Mr. President, is it possible to correct the extensive damage the current administration has caused related to our safety and security? From the border crisis to the plethora of weapons left behind in Afghanistan, I fear for my 3 adolescent sons. At night, what do I tell Cale, Kate, and Cole about their safety and their future of this great nation?
Well, the first thing you should do is pray.
Amen.
Because what they've done to our country, right? What they've done to our country, what these, and I hate to use the word, what these stupid people, naive people, but bad people, you know, weaponization. Again, they're after me. I got more court cases. On Friday, I have one. On Monday, I have one. And they do that for very bad reasons. They don't want you to campaign. They want to keep you off the campaign. They want to try and take as much money as possible instead of putting it in. But let me just tell you, the hardest problem we have, because a smart president will be able to get along with Russia, China. There are a lot of reasons why. But the biggest problem we have is they've allowed 21 million people into our country. And I told you last night, I tell you tonight, it's the single biggest problem. They've poisoned our country. They're coming in from prisons. They're coming in from mental institutions. Terrorists are coming in. The criminals are coming off the streets in Caracas, Venezuela, but all over the world, not just in South America. It's the single hardest problem that we would have never had. If I were president, you wouldn't have that problem. You wouldn't have inflation. You wouldn't have Russia attacking Ukraine. You wouldn't have had October 7th with Israel. You wouldn't have had the Afghanistan disaster, which I think is the single most embarrassing day in the history of our country, where they have billions of dollars of equipment. We lost 13 great soldiers, and I celebrated and honored their wonderful, they call them their children, and they are their children. They're wonderful children. They're kids. I went to Arlington Cemetery with them the other day, and at their request, and Sean knows this better than anybody, and it was very tough for me to get there, I will tell you. I don't want to say that, but it was very tough. I was in a different part of the world, frankly, and I got there, and we had a beautiful couple of hours together. First, we had a ceremony, and then we had we went down to the grave sites, and they said, "Sir, could we have a picture with my son?" In one case, it was a daughter. "Could we have a picture with my daughter?" We took pictures. Stayed for a long time, and then I left, and that was it. I thought it was beautiful. And those people are phenomenal, what they've done. Joe Biden and Kamala killed those children because of their incompetence, just like they had a gun that killed them. And I went home, and I thought it was a beautiful thing. I told my wife, I told our great First Lady, who people love, they love her, but I said, it was so sad and yet so beautiful and joyful in a sense. I mean, the people, they had something that was very special. And I went there, and, I had them up to Bedminster. I got to know many of them, most of them. But I get home and I get a call from one of my people. "Sir, they're saying that you use this for public relations purposes." And you know what happened? It was so beautiful. Every one of those people made a video to say that Donald Trump came there. I got enough publicity. I don't need publicity. I'd like to get half the publicity. I'd be very happy. But they said that, and you saw the videos. The videos became very, very well known and famous, actually. Some beautiful statements. And I went there. I got nothing out of that except to take care of people that were not taken care of by our government. And Joe Biden and Kamala should call those people and apologize, because that was the most incompetent withdrawal in the history of our country. There's never been anything. So think of it. We took the military out first. You're supposed to take the military out last. Once the military was gone, they had free shots at us. But we took the military out first, and then it began. We lost 13 soldiers. Many were horribly wounded, meaning no legs, no arms. The face was obliterated. Many, we don't even talk about those people, and we have to. We left Americans behind, and you cover that better than anybody. We left many Americans behind, and we left billions and billions of dollars of brand new military equipment behind, that now they are one of the largest sellers of military equipment in the world. Afghanistan, they're selling the equipment that we just walked away from. It was so incompetent, but to be with those people was a real honor, I have to tell you. And for them to go out of their way, and every one of them made a video. They said, "Sir, could you take a picture next to the grave of my son?" I said, "Of course." Could you imagine if I said, "No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it." But every one of those people appreciated it, and every one of them made a tape, and they sent it out, and it became very viral, as they say nowadays. And it was a great honor for me to be there. Thank you.
And I should add, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were both invited. And this was not, you knew these families. You had met with them at Bedminster.
Yes,
you were familiar with
I knew them.
And they invited you, you went, and they said, "Would you take a picture?" And then you did, and then you were attacked and then the families were furious at Kamala about it. I think this is going to be the last question. What's your name, sir?
Hi, Alistair Hackett from Spring Lake, New Jersey.
Hey, Alex.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I'm a recent college graduate and am concerned with the growing influence of wokeness in many of our top institutions. We saw General Milley take this to new heights under his leadership in the military. What is your plan to combat radical ideology in the military and in our corporations?
Well, first of all, Milley, that day in Congress where Milley proclaimed his wokeness was an embarrassment to our country. And remember this, we don't have a woke military. We have some guys at the top that talk it, but you couldn't convince them to be woke if you were screaming at them for 5 weeks. We took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate in 4 weeks. It was supposed to take 5 years. And I got to meet the real generals, and they are unbelievable. Our military is unbelievable. Remember it. Unbelievable. There's no wokeness. And all we're going to do is you go out, you get your degree, you work hard, you're going to see a different country. We have to get elected. If we don't get elected, I don't know what's going to happen to our country. I just don't know. They're so bad. And normally I wouldn't say that. I'd say, well, they're working. They're a Democrat. These aren't Democrats. These are people long beyond Democrats. When I used to say to Sean on his show, I'd say our country, Sean, will never be a socialist country. And it won't. It'll be a communist country. They skipped socialism. We cannot let this happen to our country, because if it does happen, we'll never be able to come back. We'll never be able to make a comeback from it. So we're going to have a big election. This is Pennsylvania, a very important, the Commonwealth. You never want to call it a state, the Commonwealth. If you ever call it a state, I've seen their political career ruined by saying the state of Pennsylvania. No, you never want to call it a state. Now, I'll tell you how dishonest they are. They'll take that one little statement where I said the state of Pennsylvania, and they'll play it, the state of Pennsylvania. They'll cut it.
Well, there's one other thing.
Let me just, because they're fake. And one thing we should say, not him and not Fox, and we have a couple of others out there that are good, but the biggest, a great enemy to this country is the fake news media. It's a big, big enemy. And they have to change their ways. They have to change their ways.
Before we let the president go, because this is airing part 2 on Thursday night, I want to ask you one final question. In 5 nights, you'll be on the stage, not with me, but with Kamala Harris. Now, if I'm going to make a prediction, I think she's going to try and annoy, agitate, irritate, frustrate, and piss you off, to use a phrase. And are you aware of how she debates, and probably every name in the book she can call you, and without giving away your tactic?
Yeah, you don't want to do that, but when I had Biden, you and I had the same discussion.
Yeah.
And I let him talk. I'm going to let her talk because, you've all seen it. There are those that say that Biden is smarter than she is, okay? And if that's the case, we have a problem. But, debating's an interesting thing. I've been in many debates. I think I probably won because of debating, maybe. We had a lot of debates with the Republicans. Then we had Crooked Hillary. We had a lot of different people we had to debate. And we had some great debates. You do remember the Rosie O'Donnell debate. Remember Rosie? Rosie O'Donnell. She's a real great one. Isn't she a great one? Anyway, but a debate is interesting. You can go in with all the strategy you want, but you have to sort of feel it out as the debate's taking place. I've seen it. You go in there and you have a strategy. Mike Tyson made the statement, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. It's true. It was a brilliant statement. It's a brilliant statement. So I could tell Sean exactly what I'm going to do, but, things change. It depends a lot on ABC. Will they be fair or not? If they're not going to be fair, I'm going to be a little bit different than if they are. I hope they're going to be fair. We're putting a lot of reliance on a network which is known for being extremely hostile to the people in this room and to, I think, 75, 80% of the country, if you want to really know the truth. But, Sean, all I can say is this. I've seen Mitt Romney go and lock himself into a log cabin for 4 or 5 weeks, and then he came out and he was horrible in the debate. He couldn't talk. He gained great knowledge. He couldn't talk. And Candy Crowley came out and she made a terrible statement that turned out to be wrong, but it destroyed the guy. But look, you have to the way I look at debating, I think I've been really practicing all my life for this stuff. I mean, ultimately, that's what it's sort of about. So it'll be an interesting evening. And the Biden debate was a very interesting evening. I was sort of surprised by it a little bit, by what he did and the way he reacted. And you don't know how somebody's going to react. Even a professional, you don't know how they're going to react. And you have to sort of go with it as you get up there, Sean. I'd love to give you an answer. This is what I'm going to do, Sean. But when you get up there, you sort of, because I've done a lot of it. I went from never having debated to having done a lot of debates.
But if you know she's going to try and annoy you, but that's
well, I think we have a bigger problem. I think that ABC will try and annoy him.
I bet that too.
Okay.
President Donald Trump. Thank you, Harrisburg. All right, many thanks to our friends in Harrisburg, PA, and it was great to see so many of you. When we come back, Vladimir Putin just endorsed a candidate in the 2024 presidential election.
Man, they could have done that a lot longer. They could have added those questions on to yesterday's town hall, but I get why they did it, but that was fairly short. I think that was fairly short. They could have taken a little bit more questions from the audience. After this commercial break, I'll see if they go back to Hannity. If not, then that'll be a wrap. But I do think Donald Trump definitely has an advantage here because he's been through a series of debates and he's a great debater. Kamala Harris has had 2 debates, I believe, 2 debates, one in 2019 and then one in 2020. The 2019 when she got completely roasted by Tulsi Gabbard, and then the 2020 vice president debate against Mike Pence. Mike Pence is a whole nother story, but I think this was a 2-night 4 rating split for sure. Somebody said, who's Rosie? Rosie O'Donnell. She looks messy, man. I don't know if you guys seen her lately, man, but she looks messy. We're going to wait until it comes back to commercial. If it doesn't go back, then that'll be a wrap for today. But tonight's start NFL. Oh, okay. Oh, tonight's Thursday, NFL. That's right. Yeah, Kamala Harris is done. I'm going to go back on some of these comments here. Yeah, you know what's interesting is I don't know what Kamala Harris does. She doesn't run a business or anything like that. And is she that busy to not take interviews from? Is she that busy? She's not that busy. Biden's obviously not that busy. He's hanging out on the beach all the time. So why can't she take questions from the media? Why can't she do these press conferences or even stop on her way on the tarmac into her plane? It's crazy. Yeah, I'm going to highlight this one right here for sure. Yeah, I think Trump's just going to let her talk and see what kind of unfolds, see what can be unburdened by what has been, you know? Yeah, it's interesting because she has been a career politician. And she has no real world experience. I think she just got off a bus tour. It was when she was talking about ROI. It was crazy. She was like, oh, the ROI on the investment, but not really identifying what like the reasons behind. It was the no tax on tips, and then also the $6,000 child tax credit, which she was like, well, the $6,000 tax credit is going to have a really good ROI. but really not having a full understanding of how it's really going to affect the economy and where the monies are going to come from. It's crazy. Yeah, they should have made it. They definitely should have made it a full hour and perhaps taken a little bit more questions, but I get why they did the rating split for Fox. Kind of sucks, but this one's funny. Oh man. Kamala Harris is a clown. Let me see. Let me pop this on the screen so I don't have to read it, because I want to be careful on the YouTubes. Yeah, I think they're going to try to spin this again. They already spun it, just like what they did with the Arlington cemetery. They were immediately spinning it as soon as it was done, and it is ridiculous on how they spin media, especially left biased media. They spin it like crazy. She's she never has had a debate. She dropped out. Yeah, she hasn't really had a strong debate. I know she had one with Tulsi, and then she had one with Mike Pence for the vice president. Oh man. Oh yeah, they're gonna spin this. They're gonna spin it. They spun it yesterday. They were talking about how he was. So they cut it up. Let's see if it comes back up. No, it's not going to come back up. So they're just going to go directly into the Hannity report. But they spun it yesterday. Sean Hannity asked Trump a question about Biden, and he was addressing Biden, and then moved on to Kamala Harris, and then they cut it, and they were saying, "Oh, look at his cognitive ability is going down. He doesn't know who he's running against." But the way that they cut it was just crazy. Just like what they did with Joe Rogan. They cut it. Joe Rogan was talking about Tulsi Gabbard, and they cut it up, making it sound like he was talking about Kamala or Kamala. That's what Joe Biden said earlier today. Kamala. Yep. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm gonna jump into these real quick, but let's see. Yeah, they're not going back to they're not going to go back to it. So let me jump into this real quick. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is Joe Biden.
That's why Kamala and I ensured that for the first time. That's why Kamala and I ensured that
he's cooked. He is cooked. And then he was talking about the Green New Deal.
Wearing Kevlar vests.
He was talking about the Green New Deal and his personal investments. It was nuts. Yep. Well, they are not gonna. So that is a wrap with Sean Hannity and Donald Trump. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys dropping in. I really appreciate you guys commenting. I truly do. Thank you guys so much. And those of you that are catching this on the replay, drop your comments down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this debate. This debate. I sounded like Joe Biden. Right? This is debate. I'm looking forward to the debate next Tuesday. I'm going to be streaming it live here, so we'll do a watch party. Maybe we'll have some fun game rules or something like that. If I do decide to do that, I'll pop those out before we stream live. But I'm going to end it here, guys. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you guys. I'm going to end it here. Again, drop your comments down below. Smash the like button if you're catching us on a replay. Shout out to everybody watching. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing evening. And until then, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.